Hey everyone, how are we today? Just doing a quick all signs reading today. We are going to be looking at job, money, career. All right, see what's going on for you. Anything important that you need to be aware of with that. Please subscribe to the channel if you're not already. I do really appreciate that support. Being a small, non-monetized channel, every single subscribe, comment, like, it really does make a big difference. I do apologize in advance for a bit of a delay and not being able to upload quite as much as I would like at the moment. I've got quite a lot going on in my personal life and finding myself very, very time poor. At the moment, I am needing to prioritize personal readings at the moment. So if you would like a personal reading, all my info is in the description box. So just send me a message and we'll organize that for you. No drama. But like I said, I do apologize. Today we are going to be using the Career and Money Oracle, as well as the watercolor painting lenormand. All right, so getting into it for you, timestamps will be in the description box as always. So all my info is always in that description box on all the videos. So make sure you check that out if you're looking for that info. Okay, but starting off today with Aries. Aries, what does Aries need to know right now in regard to job, money, career, finances? What's going on for Aries? Job, career, money. Aries, we have the Crown energy for you. Love that for you, Aries. Overcoming obstacles when it comes to your career and finances. A bit of a power play, and when it comes to creating wealth, the way that you're creating wealth, you're utilizing the power that you have within your own self, and also within your workforce and things like that. It's a very interesting energy here. It's kind of you taking charge. That's the power play, is that you're taking charge. You're a bit of a leadership kind of a role here, where you are making progress and overcoming any obstacles that sort of are put in your path, and taking charge of how to overcome those obstacles, and in order to secure things a little bit more for yourself when it comes to your job, and obviously money as well. Clarifying that with the lenormand for you, Aries. Job, money, career for Aries, please. Yeah, definitely seeing you're on the right sort of path here, Aries. We do see the leadership card as well, the bear coming through nice and strong for you. So definitely taking charge, taking that leadership, standing tall and strong, and knowing that you are in the perfect position to take the leadership here, and be in charge, and just take that power when you see fit, kind of thing, that you're confident enough to do so, and you're able to nurture not only the people and the actual work around you, and nurture that in a way that it's actually developing more abundance for you personally as well, which then does sort of flow on to creating more wealth for you down the track as well there, Aries. We do see the book coming through. So for some of you, there is the need to educate yourself a little bit more about leadership. So I do feel as though for some of you, you may actually be choosing to undertake further education, but specifically, more specifically, along, training for like leadership type roles. Does seem to be quite prominent for a lot of you there, taking charge and learning how to take charge in a better way for yourself there. And then for others of you, it's taking charge of your own finances as well. The book in a career reading can talk about, the accounts, and sitting down with, the outgoings and the ingoing, with your financials, and really going going over the books and working out where I can save, where I need to be spending more, and all those sorts of things. Really taking charge of everything around yourself and your life and your career and money anyway, Aries. We do see the stars coming through for you. So your wishes are going to come true here. So if you are sort of undertaking study with a specific goal in mind, you're going to get the desired results from that. The stars really does show, the dream being fulfilled, the the goals being met. All right, so the goals that you're setting for yourself with career and finances, you're taking charge and making sure that you do get them, which is a really good energy for you there, Aries, taking charge of work and money. Love it. But you're more than welcome to check out your other placements, of course. Subscribe, and we'll move on over to our Taurus. Okay, Taurus. What's going on for Taurus with career and money? Job, money, career for Taurus. What's most important for Taurus to know in regard to career and finances? Ooh, the Mars coming through for you, Taurus. Saving your pennies and having a bit of a secret stash. Finding money. It can also talk about, money being taken as well, or you taking money without even sort of realizing. So be very careful with, when we are doing our financials and things like that, that you may be taking money from yourself and stealing money from yourself by kind of accident. It's coming through there. There's a hidden potential here. There's a lot of unknown factors with the mask. It's kind of like somebody does have that secret stash, and it's like if you're in that example of stealing money from yourself, it's kind of like you're paying for something twice, and that's where you're stealing money from yourself. You're paying for something twice when you don't need to be. So just be aware of that. It does talk about being a little bit more conscientious of what you're saving, and making sure we're saving even just the small amounts. So not rounding up and those sorts of things. I don't know how it really works in other countries here, but here in Australia, um, certain things, like it's kind of like I've seen people do it where it's like, because I used to actually, when that was my very first job, was I was like a checkout girl at a store in Australia, a grocery store, and we had one particular person that would come in, and they would always like have enough money on them to either pay cash or card, and they would count things down to the cent, and they had it all worked out, right? I know in like America and things like that, you guys have like the coupons. We don't really have that here in Australia, but what they were doing was they were like saving 1 cent or 2 cents through the idea of rounding up to the nearest. We round up to the nearest 5 cents here in Australia, or down to the nearest 5 cents. So if something is $5.02, we only pay $5 in cash. But if we pay that on our card, we have to pay $5.02. So that person would say, okay, well, I'm going to pay the cash so that I save the 2 cents. And they had it all worked out, and they would come through the checkout with, things put in certain orders, and they would do multiple transactions to make sure that they could save, it was literal cents that they were saving for themselves. But it's bringing that to mind, Taurus. So it's being very conscientious of even the smallest amounts, and where you can actually save out on those sorts of things as well. Okay, so like making sure we're not paying certain ATM fees if we don't need to, that kind of thing. Taurus, clarifying this message for Taurus, please. Okay. Which that one that just fell out, Taurus, that's actually a very similar energy to what we just saw with that mask. That's the book there. Okay, so that's secrets and the unknown. There is something that you're not aware of, where you're losing out on money here somewhere. Or there's money being hidden from you or something like that. So if you, for example, you're someone that owns your own business and you are wondering why, you're not, the profit's not quite right or something, the books aren't adding up properly, especially, that can talk about accounting as well. So really going over the books with a fine-tooth comb. Somebody may actually be putting, I'm getting a lot of examples being given here for you, Taurus. One of my exes worked at a company where somebody was actually found out to be, they were taking, like, once again, it's a matter of literal cents. They were taking like cents off each person's pay every single week, and it was going into an extra account. And it ended up being like tens of thousands of dollars that this person had stolen, because there was hundreds of staff members, and it was happening for quite a while before it was found out, because it was literal cents being taken. And so if you're a business owner, really go over the books with a fine-tooth comb. Get a second accountant to double check, or those sorts of things coming through here. There is something that you don't know, that something that's being hidden or needs to be uncovered. Someone sort of, there's money stashed somewhere that it shouldn't be, and it really does feel like really tiny little increments or really small amounts, but over time that really does add up, and it's just coming through. Okay, we do also have here the ship and the key. Okay, so once you undertake this journey to learn more, you really do have success to, find other opportunities to save money and to, there's a lot of hidden potential underneath all of this. So finding this issue is really going to actually, take you on this journey that leads to new opportunities opening up here, in some kind of a way for you. A lot of success here with those energies. It's kind of embracing the next chapter of what's going on for you with career and money. Because every opportunity that comes your way is actually going to lead you to success, even if it is just in those small increments. For some of you, there is a reference here to, this could actually be, travel expenses, that the money is being, extra money is being taken for travel expenses, or shipping. Okay, so that could be relevant for some of you there as well. Travel expenses or shipping are maybe some of the costings. We do also see the book and the key. Sometimes these cards can be very, very literal as well. So, it depends on your business, I suppose. If books are somehow relevant, if ships are somehow relevant, if keys are somehow relevant, check those areas. All right, they definitely need to be looked over there, with a fine-tooth comb, just to double check what's going on there, what's being hidden from you, because there's definitely something being hidden there, Taurus, where you can actually, get some money back that you're missing out on. All right, and we all love the idea of that, yeah? But that's what we have for you. You're more than welcome to check your other placements and see how that correlates to that message as well. Subscribe, and we will move on over to our Geminis. Okay, Gemini. What's most important for Gemini to know right now in regard to career and finances? Job, money, career for our Geminis. Queen. that, we have a pile of coins coming through for you, Gemini. Money coming in, wealth, good investments being made. Can have to do with focusing on sales and finances. Getting a raise could even be involved in that one. Just lucky extra coins in the back pocket there, Gemini. So we all love to hear about that, right? Extra money coming in. Making good investments seems to be very flagged up here for you, Gemini, that you are making very good investments at the moment when it comes to how you're spending your money, what you're investing your time into as well, coming through there. Clarifying this message for Gemini. Job, career, money for our Geminis. It's kind of giving me this energy of someone getting a raise in the face of adversity in some sort of a sense here, that those good investments are coming in spite of what's going on around you, kind of energy here, Gemini. Because firstly, we do have the birds and the moon. Now, the birds generally talks about conversations that are taking place, but it actually feels a lot more along the lines of workplace drama that's taking place around you. It doesn't feel like conversations that you're necessarily involved in. It's kind of more about the way that you're investing in those sorts of conversations, or not investing in those sorts of conversations is what's sort of pushing you forwards here. So it's kind of like gossip or drama that these conversations entail. And I kind of feel that you're kind of avoiding it quite heavily because of the emotional content here. It does feel like it's some sort of emotional conversations and emotional drama and emotional based gossip, and you're sort of very able to sort of pay attention to the fact that this is emotional, it's not logical. So it's probably just gossip, it's probably just a rumor. It's not necessarily logical. I feel like you're able to see through it quite easily here, Gemini, and you're not investing in the gossip, you're not investing in the rumors, spreads, and all that sort of stuff, because we see you here as the anchor, that you're secure, you're reliable, you're trustworthy and dependable, which if you're getting involved in that sort of stuff, you're not necessarily. But I feel like you're really trusting your intuition and steering clear, not investing. That's why you're coming through with good investments at the moment. There is because you're not investing yourself, your time, your energy into these sorts of conversations and dramas, and that's actually putting you a step ahead all these other people that are getting emotionally invested in the gossip. Okay, so hold your place, kind of energy. Hold still, and don't be affected by the emotions flashing around all around you. Don't invest in those and get drawn into those, because that's when you will sort of, the ship will sink. You're holding it steady right now, and it's going to work out for you, and in the long run, for you to hold steady and just stay just this external to all that drama, I feel there, Gemini. So it just feels like a bit of workplace gossip, or some sort of workplace emotional based rumor going around, that you need to make sure you're investing logically, all right, rationally, rather than emotionally. All right, trust your intuition there, Gemini. That's what we have for you. You're more than welcome to check your other placements, of course. Subscribe to the channel, and we will move on over to Cancer. Okay, Cancer. Cancer, what's most important for Cancer to know right now in regard to career, job, money? Job, career, and finances for Cancer, please. Ooh, eggs. Eggs. Starting over, saving up, nest eggs, resources. All right, new opportunities and insurance comes through as well, because that's a kind of like a nest egg. Is you pay into your insurance to provide you that little nest egg in case something goes wrong. So like superannuation, all those sorts of things. Accident insurance and those sorts of things definitely coming through strong there as well. Utilizing the resources that are available to you, and sort of a lot of you, it's like putting something away for a rainy day, but being very careful to not count those chickens before they actually hatch, to make sure that you've got enough eggs that even if half of them don't hatch, you've still got enough to rely on there. So that message is coming through as well. But it feels like more to do with like nest eggs and saving up for a rainy day. What would happen if something, all of a sudden you had to take a week off work. Do you have that little egg to cover you for that time period? Clarify this message for Cancer. Yeah, so we're definitely seeing needing to think very logically and rationally about the future at the moment, this nest egg idea. We have the clouds coming through firstly. Sometimes that can talk about, overthinking things and things like that, but it's not really coming through like that. It's just coming through with like your thoughts, needing to have your thoughts very firmly focused on the future here. We have the lily. So the lily talks about, retirement period of your life. Like, so your thoughts need to be on what do I want that nest egg to be through retirement time, 10, 20, 30, 40 years from now. What do I need to make sure that I'm going to be okay when I get there? Because you're starting this journey now. We have the ship here. You're starting that journey now, and for some of you, it does talk about, in the future, you're wanting to do things like traveling or move distance. So you're needing to actually make sure you've got that nest egg so that you can, provide for that opportunity in the future for yourself. So you're saving up for those things, and you're needing to think very rationally, very logically about how we're approaching our future at the moment. So spending a lot of time thinking about, where we want to be in the future and what resources I need to have the, the life that I want in the future. Okay, so you're spending some time thinking, a far distance from now. This ship does talk about distance, and with the lily there, it's a distance of time. All right, for majority of you there, that it's that thinking about, 30 years from now, at the end of my life, what do I want to be able to, you know, do with my life when I retire, and on thinking about those sorts of things. So, things like superannuation and retirement funds definitely coming through, needing to be thought about at this time as a nest egg, as an insurance, policy for yourself that, you will be provided for in the long term, rather than just worrying about it right here, right now. Okay, so definitely looking at those superannuation type policies and all that sort of stuff at the moment there. Okay, Cancer. So that's what we have for you. You're more than welcome to check your other placements. Subscribe to the channel, and we will move on over to our Leos. Okay, Leo, what's going on for Leo with job, career, finances? Work and money for our Leos. What's going on? What's most important for Leo to know in regard to job, career, and finances? Oh, treasure. That always feels like a great energy, doesn't it, Leo? Treasure. Worry-free finances, money in reserve, and maybe even an excess of money. Planning ahead, and you finding that you've got this hidden talent for, making sure things are in reserve and excess for yourself here. So I do feel for a lot of you that this is very much along the lines of that worry-free finances. It doesn't need to be a huge amount of, hundreds of thousands of dollars of treasure that you've got for a rainy day. No, I feel like this is just, having the money that you need when you need it. Just as simple as that. Like, it doesn't need to be a huge excess of money, but it's an excess to cover you when you need it. So, if you decide, oh, I want a coffee, I want to go and buy a coffee today, and that's not your normal thing, and I don't even have to think about it. I know that I can cover that little excess for myself, that little treat or whatever. You're not having to worry as much, that you know that you can just do what you need to do, kind of thing, and that you do have enough to get, not just get by, but to get by and then some. Okay, clarifying this message for Leo, please. Job, career, and finances for our Leos. Solid foundations, Leo, yeah. We have the Tower coming through first. I feel like this came through for you guys recently as well, talking about, something governmental, authority type energy coming through here, that you do have a solid enough foundation here, that it is going to be worry-free finances, that you do have, that excess, that, that you're planning ahead and being very, well thought out. You're being very regimented with the way that you're taking care of your finances at the moment, Leo. So you really are, building a strong structure of financial freedom for yourself, even if you don't realize that you are. Okay. We also have the Garden here, so there may actually be some sort of meeting of importance here. We do have the Heart as well. So it feels as though this meeting, it's very important for you to just follow your heart with this meeting, and, come from a place of love rather than fear and worry and concern. So for some of you, this is like meeting with an authority figure. So for some of you, you may actually have an upcoming, meeting with the boss sort of energy coming through here, or, meeting with a financial advisor, or meeting with somebody who may be connected somehow to your finance, like your financial gain in some kind of a way, or like I said, an accountant or something like that, a financial advisor. But you really need to come at that with love rather than stress. Instead of stressing about the money or the meeting, or you really need to come from a place of love, and that you're just doing things out of love. That you need you don't need money to go and buy all the luxuries in the world. No, you need money to, pay for to care for the people that you love, even if that's only you yourself, that you need, you deserve to be able to have that extra coffee every now and then, and all those sorts of things. So it shows that you're coming from a very solid foundation, but it needs to be a solid foundation, where we're showing love for ourselves, our loved ones that we take care of financially, or are connected financially, and coming from that place of love for potential and possibility as well. Okay. It's kind of the planning aspect here a little bit as well, that you're planning on things to go right rather than planning on things to go wrong, and you're doing it because like, but I love having enough money to buy that extra coffee, so I'm going to focus on how much I love that extra coffee, and so therefore I'm going to get it. Just using that as an example. Obviously, Leo, you are more than welcome to check your other placements, of course. I do apologize for all the coughing. Winter here in Australia is kicking my butt, but that's what we have for you. Check those other placements, subscribe to the channel, and we will move on over to our Virgos. Okay, Virgo, what's most important for Virgo to know in regard to job, career, money, career and finances for our Virgos? Oh, the moon energy, Virgo. This is a lot of intuition coming through for you at the moment when it comes to your career. Things coming from unknown sources, and just sort of having to put a lot of trust and faith into your career, I suppose, at the moment. For some of you, you may be sort of taking very odd jobs, so you don't know what the job is until the day comes, kind of thing. You may be sort of taking a lot of there may be some aspect of that with your job at the moment, where it's kind of like things pop up that you don't know what's going to happen until it happens, kind of thing. So having to sort of take it as it comes, and just trust that you are being guided, that things are coming from unknown sources, but it's all going to work out. There is an element here of like the flow feeling a little bit, because you're not sure, on a day-to-day thing. It may feel a little bit like all over the place, and a little bit like, I don't know whether because I don't know what I'm doing, what the job is today. I don't know, maybe if I'm even going to have the money, if I'm going to be getting paid this week, that kind of thing. It does feel like that is a little bit in a flow state as well, the money side of it all. But it's kind of that odd job energy where it's like, well, some days you're going to get paid $20 for doing that job, and then other days you're going to get paid $100 for doing this job, and it's kind of this weird flow where it's kind of, there's a lot of unknowns here for you at the moment, Virgo. But we'll clarify that with the lenormand as well. Virgo, job, career and money for our Virgos. So I feel like for a lot of you, just needing to take that flow into account, that you need to find some sort of stability within the instability, if that makes sense. Clarify this message for our Virgos. Job, money, career for Virgo. Yeah, it's kind of just telling you to, invest in these opportunities, and just throw yourself into it, no matter what it is. Just all in, kind of thing. The clover here, it does talk about taking a chance, taking a risk to jump in the deep end, and invest into things, even if it is only a short-term thing, or an unsure type thing. Go all in, and that's going to pay off the most for you. We do also have the woman coming through there, so that once again, it's being guided. It's that intuitive energy where just keep nurturing that energy of, I'm taking a chance, I'm jumping in the deep end, I'm going to have a go. Even if I don't know what I'm doing, I'm going to have a go. You will move forward here. It will work out some way or another for you, Virgo. We also have the scythe, which shows us once again that, there may be some emotional upsets with things changing so suddenly and quickly. You might think, oh, we're getting a little bit steady work here, and then bang, something changes. That breaks, and then we cut into another thing, and then all this sort of energy coming through for you, Virgo. But kind of roll with it. The more that you throw yourself into that, and invest into that energy, the more that you're going to be on the right side of all these changes taking place, and something, everything will just sort of work out for you. It's kind of a weird energy where even though it sort of feels like very choppy and changey and all over the place, it kind of all balances out at the end of the day, and it gives you this opportunity to really nurture the intuitive knowing which jobs to take, and so it's nurturing your intuitive self in the career sense as well. So it's kind of like, for a lot of you, you've got this option of, do I take this job or that job or this job or that job? And oh, I'm just going to jump all in and do this one. And even though it's, maybe not as much money, or do that one, even though it's more work or whatever, you're investing into it, and it's paying off for you in the long run. So, roll with it, Virgo, would be my advice there. Trust your intuition on those sorts of things as well. So that's what we have for you. You're more than welcome to check your other placements, of course. Subscribe to the channel, and we will move on over to Libra. Okay, Libra. Most important things for Libra to know in regard to career and money. Job, career, finances for our Libra. Oh, the mask energy, Libra. We did see, I believe it was Taurus that had this same energy. So we'll see if it's playing out the same for you. Okay, so this is about secret stash of money. Money being hidden in some way, shape, or form. Okay, so is this you hiding money, or is this somebody else hiding money from you? Is what I want to ask here. There's a hidden potential with this. I am getting this a little bit different for you than what it was for Taurus, because it is feeling like it's more of a secret stash that you have, or are needing to hide some money from yourself, that you're needing to save those pennies, and find a way to put some money aside for yourself, and in order to have this hidden potential of this could go towards anything kind of energy there, Libra. There is something else trying to come through here as well, but I'll clarify with the lenormand and see what's going on. Libra. What does Libra need to know in regard to job, money, career, please? See, for Taurus, it felt a little bit more business related, but for you, it's more money. Just clarify that third card for Libra, please. Yeah, so we have the fish coming through first, which is money. Okay, so definitely looking at money rather than career here for you. Finding a greater abundance within your finances here. We do have the sun coming through, so it's kind of, something being brought to light, something coming out into the open. It's a happy thing. The sun talks about happiness. So some money coming to light, some money coming out into the open a little bit here. We have the mice here. Okay, so this is kind of like a squirreling away energy. This is like money that you thought you'd lost, or money that you thought had been stolen from you or taken from you, or was no longer yours. You thought you'd lost this money. So it's kind of like that energy of like a bank account you forgot you had, or something like that, because it's kind of giving me very squirreled away, money that's been squirreled away. So like maybe you forgot that you had an account where you were automatically getting, you know, $5 a month taken and put into this other account, and you'd forgotten all about it, and it's been, you know, this whole time it's been squirreled away, like getting put away, and you're like, I feel like I've lost $5 this month. I don't know where it went, but now you're sort of finding out that it's coming to light that all this money has been put aside, and here it is. Here's this money. It's your secret stash. That was clarified by the clouds. So it's kind of like it's something that it's clouded from your conscious thought. Like it's hidden. This at the moment the sun is behind the clouds. All right, and the clouds are like your thoughts. So it's just not in your conscious brain right now that you know about this. But it is going to come to light very soon, I feel, for a lot of you. That this has been sort of squirreled away, or this is, you know, that this money that you thought you had lost, because that's what I mean. It's like it's money that you thought you had lost, that you don't even think about it, and you've completely forgotten about it, because it's lost, it's gone, you thought it was stolen from you, or you thought it was lost, and you were like, oh well, I'm never getting that back, move on, and bang, here it comes. So it's something that you don't even remember until it comes to light. It's like you don't even know about this until it comes to light. Even if you do know about this, if that makes sense. So for some of you, this is like I'm getting that for someone here, it's like a childhood savings account that, you know, when you were a child, you're putting pocket money away into an account, and then as you grew older and you became an adult, you forgot about that, and then all of a sudden you're like getting news, you know, it's coming to light. Oh, you've got this other account, and because it's been sitting there for years and years, it's grown more money, because it's like grown. What's the word? Interest. So it feels like something like that, or like something that was actually, like, for some of you, it might have been money that was actually stolen from you, and you know, like in the past, and you thought, oh, I'm never going to get that back, and then all of a sudden it's just popping up again. There's a hidden potential here, a lot of hidden potential that I feel like a lot of you have no idea what I'm talking about, but then, you know, like within the next few weeks, you'll be like, all of a sudden, what? Cool. I really like that for you, Libra. Let me know when that does come to light, what that was all about for you personally. Okay, because it is slightly different for everyone. You know, it is a collective message after all, but sounds interesting. It actually reminds me, Libra, of, you know, many years ago, I didn't even realize, but I was involved in a like I'd had to actually sign up for it or something, but I was in a class action lawsuit thing, against, you know, it was a big company with a lot of people, and I'd like completely forgotten I'd signed up for this, because it was just a matter of, you know, you bought a certain product from a certain place, and, you know, so if that was you and you did sign up, and I was like, oh, I fit the thing. So I signed up, and then, you know, it was like years and years later, I got a check just randomly all of a sudden. And I was like, wow. So it kind of feels like that. Um, Same sort of thing. Like you didn't even remember that you signed up for this thing. And then, oh, look, here's money for you. Have money. And you're like, okay. So that's what we have for you. Check your other placements, subscribe to the channel, and we will move on over to our Scorpios. Okay, Scorpio. Scorpio, what does Scorpio need to know in regard to career and finances? Important message for Scorpio when it comes to job, career, finances, please. I can hear someone there saying, I don't care about the job, I just want the money. Which about to come into fruition, okay? We have the tree, so you are about to experience financial growth. I feel like whoever that was kind of sitting there saying, when you heard me say that, you're like, I don't even care about the job. The job's fine. I want the money. It is about to move into the direction you're wanting it to grow. Financial growth coming to fruition, abundance, okay, stability when it comes to your finances. It's like healing the cracks, all right, healing the things that weren't working for you in your finances. You're healing those, because I'm kind of getting this image of like leaking, I'm actually seeing like a bathtub leaking gold. So it's like, and then the crack gets healed, and so you're no longer losing all this extra money, and it starts filling up the bathtub instead of leaking out the side. Okay, Scorpio. So we are about to sort of start seeing some changes. I feel like it's just small increments for a lot of you, but it's a positive forward growth movement. It's not a backslide when it comes to the money. All right. Scorpio, job, career, finances for Scorpio. Yeah, and for some of you, it's very specific here for a couple of you as well. All right, because we have the lily coming through first. So this is long-term energy. This is like the energy of, let's start thinking about our retirement. Rather than thinking about what our money is doing right here, right now, let's think about, the financial growth we expect, before retirement. Excuse my cough, Scorpio. Winter is creating havoc on my asthma. And that, where you want your sense of abundance to be, towards retirement, old age, that kind of stuff. So the longer term growth that you're wanting within your financial aspects. All right. We do see the mountain coming through here as well. So it's kind of like, you've been putting in the hard work. So this is that, coming into fruition, your hard work is paying off, that you've been very, very, and continue to be, and you're deciding that this is something that I'm continuing to be determined and perseverant with this growth, that I'm going to, push to keep that growth coming, to keep healing those financials, not backsliding there, not just, taking it easy, because you've got a lot of goals, and this is like, we have the child there as well, Scorpio. So this is where that mountain actually leads you, that the delay that you've faced so far, in your life financially, it is actually leading you to a stronger sense of purpose when it comes to your finances for the long term, and you're going to be able to sort of kick those goals and, meet those goals for yourself in a more fun kind of a way, that it's creating this energy for you where this is like a brand new beginning for you, that, life really begins now, that you've been putting in all that hard work, and now it's starting to pay off. And, a child is just that. It's still got a whole lifetime ahead of it, and, you're thinking about the lifetime ahead of yourself, and so this is kind of like the brand new beginning here, where you're willing to put in the work necessary to get yourself to where you want to be in the future, as well as, healing the current position. So you're thinking about things in a much more long term sort of thing, and you're sort of realizing that, okay, well, I've patched that bathtub. That's the child. That's the new beginning. Now we can start to fill that bathtub up. So it's really just the perspective there where, it's kind of like, yeah, that's the best analogy I've got. Not gonna lie, that's what I'm seeing, and that's what it wants to keep saying is this bathtub. It's like, up until now, there's been, all these holes in this bathtub for you, and you've had to run around and do all this hard work to patch up these holes, and you've been leaking money everywhere, and now you've got all those holes patched up. Now you can finally start to, mature and grow your wealth in a different kind of way. So very positive energy there. Everything is starting to come into fruition for you and grow the way that you need it to, financially, Scorpio. So you're more than welcome to check your other placements, of course. Subscribe to the channel, and we will move on over to our Sagittarius. Okay. Sagittarius. What's most important for Sagittarius to know in regard to job, money, career, please? Ooh, light bulb moment for you, Sagittarius. New income sources, lucrative ideas, inspirations, being, entrepreneurial, new jobs, and finding more creative work or ways to do your work. Okay, being a little bit more creative, coming up with new ideas on what we're doing. For some of you, it may even be a brand new job or a brand new income stream coming through there for you. We'll clarify that light bulb moment for you here, Sagittarius. Sagittarius, job, career, money for Sagittarius, please. Definitely seeing a lot of growth coming through for you. We have the tree coming through first, healing the finances, healing, the version of yourself that you have been with your career, and becoming, older, wiser, more mature, becoming and growing into the version of yourself that you want to be within your career. If that kind of makes sense, I hope that makes sense, because to me it makes perfect sense. But it's like, you've been, up until now, you've kind of just been doing what you doing things just to, that's my job. I've got to do that, this and that. Whereas, and so you've just kind of been that job Sagittarius, but now you're actually finding this new way of being a different kind of version of yourself. Like, it's still the same you. It's just like more mature, wiser. You're able to do things in a more whole way for yourself, where you're feeling a little bit more passionate. I feel for a lot of you, there's a lot more passion towards what you're doing. You're doing things just a little bit more creatively, and making the job fit you instead of you fitting the job, if that makes more sense. We do have the woman there as well. So, you're finding your emotion for this, finding that passion, finding that, and nurturing that little spark within you, that those new ideas, that creativity, a new way of doing things that inspires you. Okay. We also have the crossroad here as well. So a lot of free will here. For some of you, you are definitely making the decision to, start a brand new job, or start something brand new alongside what you're currently doing, or as part of what you're currently doing. So, there is a decision or a choice coming up in regard to, is this what I want to nurture? Sorry about the camera moving there. I've got the puppy at my feet. But you're more than welcome to check your other placements, and we'll move on to Capricorn. Okay. Moving on to Capricorn. Capricorn, important messages for Capricorn with job, money, career. career and finances for our Capricorns. Oh, Buddha. I love this for you, Capricorn, because, you know, Capricorn get so stereotyped as they only care about money, they only care about work, they only care about money. This energy shows the truth of the situation, yeah? It's about life purpose. It's more than money. It's that spiritual wealth, you know, being guided and trusting your divine path when it comes to your career and finances. And now I'm not saying that your divine path is not money and not this career path that you're on, Capricorn, because it definitely could be. That could be part of your life purpose here. But it's got to do with your personal passion rather than making money. Because Capricorn, you're very well placed when, you know, Daddy Saturn loves you guys with when it comes to the money and career stuff. That Capricorn, you are someone that the more passion that you have for your career and you know, for making money, you just have this natural skill that you're so passionate about it that it just plays out well for you, and it becomes your passion and your life purpose, and it all just sort of rolls into one. And that's why a lot of people do, you know, have that stereotype of Capricorn. It's because Capricorn does things passionately, and that's where you're really finding this life purpose here. This, you know, to you it's more than money, because it's got to do with, you know, filling your soul. And that's what we're sort of looking at for you here, Capricorn. Is I feel like some of you are questioning yourself when it comes to this whole idea that is, you know, this job makes me a lot of money, but does it fill my soul? And I feel like that's, for some of you, there's a decision you're about to make. I'm just grabbing that intuitively there, but and others of you are kind of like, do you know what? I don't care if I don't make any money out of this. I'm passionate about this and I want to do this. So if I'm so passionate about this, well, if it makes money, awesome. If not, who cares? It's making me feel my soul. Capricorn. Capricorn. It's that spiritual wealth, Capricorn. Job, money, career for our Capricorns, please. And realizing too, some of you realizing too that is your your wealth, that spiritual path that you're on is your abundance and wealth. It is your strength and your foundation. We see the crossroad coming through first. So free will, which is interesting because we're looking at ideas of destiny and ideas of your life purpose and spiritual aspects. And then we see your free will being here, these choices and decisions that you're making. And I feel like for a lot of you, though, it's the decision or the choice to follow your spiritual path when it comes to your wealth and abundance, your career even. Following your passions, choosing to follow what you're passionate about rather than following, you know, money. You kind of know that the more that you follow the passion, the more everything else will just fall into place for you anyway. Because that's kind of what you're good at, Capricorn. It says me, the Capricorn, that is doing the passion channel and I'm not making money. We also have the bear here, which I do quite often see with Capricorn energy as well. But this is actually, you know, we see free will, but then we see soul energy here with the bear. This is, you know, taking leadership and taking charge and standing tall and strong and firm in your boundaries with your morals, you know. So you're standing very tall and strong. This is, you know, I'm taking charge. This is what I believe I want to do. This is what I believe is the right thing for me to do. So that's what I'm going to do. I'm not going to take second best. I'm going to just go for what I want. Taking charge a little bit here and protecting yourself and protecting your current abundance, but still taking charge and defending those morals as well. I feel for a lot of you there is a moral aspect with that bear today as well, but that soul aspect once again coming through. And then we have the Tower. Foundation is strong. You have a lot of authority and a lot of control here. The Tower is a very regimented way of doing things, but it's building up strong from the bottom. I started at the bottom and now I'm all the way up here because I built that tower strong as heck. And that's what you're doing, Capricorn, and you're taking control of that. It's kind of like if you're the what do they call it, a foreman at the job site. You're making sure every single brick is in the exact right spot and that every little thing is perfectly aligned to give you the best basis, the best foundation for you to move forward here. So you're making power moves, Capricorn, but in a very spiritual, passionate way. So trust your decisions, because stand very tall and firm and confident in taking control of your life and taking control of the decisions that you're making, because it's all moving you in the right direction here, because it's all about following your truth and your passion. Okay, I just feel like there's one more thing that needs to be said here, Capricorn. Capricorn, job, money, career for Capricorn, please. What is that extra message for Capricorn, please? Have faith, Capricorn. We trust that you're moving in the right direction. You're doing everything right. There's a lot of responsibility, a lot of burden. If anyone can handle it, it's you. You're willing to take on that responsibility because you have faith that it's working out for you in the long run, and there's a reason. There's a there's a spiritual reason that this is your path. This is your path. We're seeing destiny mixed in with your free will and your strength and your standing tall and firm and making those strong choices, and that's part of your destiny. So usually you would not see, free will and destiny so intertwined, but it just shows us, Capricorn, that you're giving your time and your effort to the right things. All right. So that's what we have for you. You're more than welcome to check your other placements and see how that, commingles with that message. But we will move on over to Aquarius. Okay, Aquarius. Aquarius, what does Aquarius need to know in regard to job, career, finances? Career and money for our Aquarians, please. Oh, we just saw this for one of the other signs as well. The tree. Okay, it maybe was Scorpio, I believe, had that same card. So some of you may have a strong Scorpio placement. Or for some of you, I'm picking up actually that this might actually be really asking you to pay attention to Scorpio season this year, maybe very important, or last year's Scorpio season may be very, very important to your financial growth in some way, shape, or form. Thinking about what you invested in financially in Scorpio season. Okay, so that's October, November, end of October, start of November. Ask yourself what did you invest in during that time, whether it be with your career or your finances. That may actually have a very strong role to play in your financial growth that's coming through here. So things starting to come into fruition. So for some of you, you started something during that time, whether it was with your career or an investment you've made financially. You've started something that is now, starting to bear fruit for you, all right, and giving you a lot more abundance in your life and a lot more stability for yourself. Okay, so I am just very clearly getting that same message, that Scorpio season. Aquarius. Job, career, money for Aquarius, please. And some of you branching out a little bit here too when it comes to the financial plans that you have made and are making. You may be deciding to branch out and grow those even further from here as well. We do see the fox coming through firstly for you, Aquarius, which is, he's the little businessman of the lenormand, actually. He's the one that is very crafty and very intelligent, very clever with the business decisions, and make sure things are even trade, that I'm not investing into something that I'm not going to receive back from. It's playing the right games, playing the game of wealth in a way that benefits you. So you are being very, very crafty, very intelligent with the way that you're approaching investments and things like that. So trust that. Do what you need to do to make those investments pay out for yourself here. We do see the fish coming through there as well. So definitely seeing incoming money for you, coming off the back of your smart decisions. You've played the game right. You've done the right things here. You even if you thought you were being a little bit selfish, you've played the game right. You've played this financial game. You've played the career game in a way that is providing for you, providing for your survival. All right, because we have, money coming in. That's the rider finishing that off there. And the rider is, quite simply put, good news on the way. So we're seeing financial good news on the way for you very, very soon. And it's coming off the back of this, the choices that you have made, the things that you have done, your intelligence, your craftiness and cleverness, that is now starting to pay out. That tree that is now bearing fruit for you. So whatever you've done, it's working out in your favor, Aquarius. So love that for you. So that's what we have for you today. You are more than welcome to check out your other placements and see, how that blends in with that message. But subscribe, and we will move on over to our Pisces. Okay, Pisces. What's most important for Pisces to know in regard to career and money? Okay, Pisces. Job, career, and finances for our Pisces, please. Oh, interesting, Pisces. We have the coffin. Okay, I actually went to grab a different card, and this one kind of fell out. So it wants to be seen. So the one I did go to grab was the cutlery, which talks about business tools and, needing more money, even if you are living well, that you are, you feel as though you're constantly trying to consume, that you're feeling very much like always in pursuit, always hungry kind of energy. It's just you're wanting more. But just be careful here, Pisces, because the coffin energy in this particular deck, it does talk about challenges and financially, okay, and jobs ending and things like that, bad investments that do lead to a bit of trouble, endings. So, the coffin in the lenormand is quite simply, endings that actually, they lead to new beginnings, pardon me, Even this one talks about the new beginnings aspect, the death and rebirth. Okay, you can kind of see that is an Egyptian coffin, sarcophagus. Yeah, the Egyptians believe in life after death, the afterlife. So even if something ends here, there is an afterlife that is yet to come. But right now, it's kind of feeling like that energy of sometimes when we're stuck in the ending, or when that ending is occurring, oh, it can be rough. Not gonna lie, Pisces, I've had something like this happen in my life this week, where there's something that, it's kind of weird because I know that there's a new beginning, there's an afterlife, that there's a reason that this is all ending. But geez, it's rough energy to get through, while you wait for the clarity to see why that's happened. But it can be really rough. That ending is rough. Even if we know there's a new beginning on the other side of it, the death is rough, before the afterlife. It's not the easiest process. So not gonna lie, Pisces, I do feel like you may be going through it a little bit at the moment with money or your career. But we'll see what the Lenormand wants to add into that. Pisces, what's going on for Pisces with job, money, career, please? And I do want to clarify for Pisces as well, is this more to do with financials or the job stuff? Let's have a look. Pisces. Pisces. You have the most unclear message out of all the signs this week, not going to lie. Not that the message itself is unclear, it's that the message does not want to be clear. That the message is, it's kind of like, dear universe, can we tell Pisces what's going to happen? Universe says no. Pisces doesn't need to know. That's why it's unclear, Pisces, because we have the book coming through first. Unknown, mystery. There's the next chapter is unknown. It's a mystery. It does not, that book is not even open yet. Look, the universe has bookmarked 2 special little spots there, though. But we have no idea what they are because we haven't opened the book yet. We know that there's 2 special chapters, 2 very important things happening in this book. But we don't even know what the theme is. We don't even know if they're good things or bad things. A lot of unknown factors coming into play here, Pisces. It's kind of like, that next chapter is a mystery. It's really like the universe does not want to divulge its secrets. But, we have the dog coming through next, so it's kind of saying here, like, go easy on yourself. Friendships may be very important for this next chapter. I'm going to clarify that, actually. Clarify the dog for Pisces, please. How is that relevant to Pisces when it comes to job, career, finances for Pisces? For some of you here, Do you know what? I actually think that for some of you here that this is a friend that can help you through this ending, whatever's ending for you financially. I feel like it's more financially than career for a lot of you. For some of you, it is career, and it's like this friend might be able to help you get a new job because it feels like the friend can help with the new beginning, the rebirth, the afterlife, helping you navigate this situation. Because it feels like there's no choice in the ending. Whatever's coming to an end here, there's no choice in that. It's the choices are for you in what comes next from this. So with the book and the dog there, the book can also talk about like, you know, going over the books kind of thing, researching, you know, so a friend might be able to, you know, impart some knowledge with your situation. There may be a friend that has, you know, the knowledge that can help you here, can help educate you a little bit more about the situation, or even just about finances, how to look after your finances, that sort of stuff. It could talk about things like accounting, you know, doing the books, like quite literally doing the books of, you know, where am I in the red, where am I, you know, whatever, checking over with a fine-tooth comb of every little expenditure and whatnot. The dog is clarified by the lily as well as the fox. So this fox energy here, this is it can sometimes be a lot of different things, but for a lot of you, this is a long-term friend, and you do know that they are very clever. This is intelligence and very clever, that they kind of know how to play the game. You know, the fox is the businessman, right? It's the used car salesman. This person, you've probably even, like, you'll probably know who this person is, because if I say to you that this person could sell ice to Eskimos, which friend is that? Which family member is that? Which person that you know is that person that could sell ice to an Eskimo? Sometimes they may seem a little bit selfish, but it's not that they're selfish, it's that they just have a different way of survival than maybe you or others around them. They do things in order to survive, and that's exactly why they know how to survive this financial situation. Um, they're probably very thrifty. They probably are somebody who knows how to save money when they need to, and they do it out of a sense like survival. They maybe are somebody who has literally had to, you know, fight to survive in some kind of a way, and that's where they've learned a lot of their business sense for some of you here. So this, I do feel like it's a friend or a family member or a long time friend for a lot of you here, Pisces. They do have a lot of knowledge about, you know, about this, that they can actually impart to you. More so with the new beginning, I feel they can sort of help you get things back up off the ground. For some of you, they may be the one quite literally going over the books for you, going over your financials for you, and going through your bills and things like that, and finding out where that money's going, or whatever that is for you here, Pisces. We do have the cross coming through as well. So this is kind of singing that song to me that things will only get better. All right, this is have faith, just trust. There may be a little bit of, you know, a bit of sense of duty here to get things back into line for yourself. You know, a bit of responsibility on your shoulders at the moment, Pisces, to, you know, make sure that we are going through those books and doing our due diligence to, you know, find that new beginning in amongst all the emotional ending sort of thing, because the endings here do feel a bit like stress. But then the afterlife, it's like we just need to you know, knuckle down and get this done. Is going to be the best way to survive this, I feel. Okay, and this is telling us to have hope. You know, there's a reason to have faith here that this will all fall into place the way that it needs to. There is a sense of, you know, this is destiny at play. All right, so very, very interesting energy for you there, Pisces. So don't be afraid of the challenges. Okay, you may be experiencing some challenges right now, but it's kind of like, it's all part of your destiny. There's a reason. There's a reason, even if you don't know it, even if you can't see it. There is a reason that you're being faced with this challenge right now, because it's the afterlife. That's the important thing from here. All right, so that's what we have for you, Pisces. You're more than welcome to check your other placements and see if that helps add in a little bit of extra information for you. But subscribe to the channel, and I'll see you all again soon.